Well, just like that, the reunion with Raiders star wide receiver Amari Cooper is officially over. But this does open the door for new rookie wide receiver Dante Thornton. Let's break this down. By the way, most of the world will not be able to see the Raiders versus Patriots game this Sunday, week 1 at 10 a.m. You got the CBS coverage map. Raiders versus Patriots is in green. It's not going to be shown in LA, not going to be shown in Oregon. So make sure you join me on this channel live where I'll be reacting, doing play-by-play to the Raiders versus Patriots game. Join me live this Sunday. And I know us Raiders fans are passionate, and that could sometimes lead to physical altercations with opposing fans, but you gotta watch out, Raiders fans, because the NFL is having undercover law enforcement officers wearing opposing team jerseys. So be on the lookout. You might have a narc on your hands if you're a Raiders fan. Well, Amari Cooper officially informed the Raiders today, just days before the week 1 game against the New England Patriots, that he plans to retire. And this is absolutely shocking because just 10 days ago, he signed with the Raiders and it looked like we're going to have a reunion. It looked like he was going to get significant opportunities with the Raiders. He talked about the fact that one of the reasons why he joined the Raiders instead of a team like the San Francisco 49ers is due to the fact that he felt like he can get a lot of targets, a lot of opportunities, and a chance to get another contract next year. He was only getting paid $3.5 million with some incentives there, so he's not losing too much money. It's really interesting to see, why did he retire? Was it his choice? Was it the Raiders' choice? Now, there's some word out there that he retired because he just wasn't able to ramp up to NFL speed throughout practice. But just a week ago, when we saw Amari Cooper, he was talking about how he has tons of juice left.
The opportunity to show what I can still do. I had, a few teams hitting me up, but I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to show that trust me, I still got some juice left. So I want to show it. And I felt like, this was the opportunity for me to show it.
So apparently Amari Cooper was capping when he said he has lots of juice left. And you can kind of tell that this guy was struggling throughout practice. You had this post go viral where people were saying he looked extremely slow in warm-ups or running routes here. You could see that. I mean, kind of hard to tell when it's not real game footage, but this went absolutely viral all over the internet, and now he retired. So there's some truth to it. And now you have the New York Times, The Athletic, to Sean Reed of The Athletic, reporter of the Raiders, saying that Amari Cooper was unimpressive in practice with the Raiders the past week and didn't have the look of a difference maker. So I often wonder, was this all Amari Cooper's decision, or was this kind of the Raiders saying, hey, why don't you go ahead and retire so the optics look better for you? You don't want it to look like we just cut you after a few days. It looks better for us because it makes it, seem like we didn't make a stupid signing by signing Amari Cooper and letting go of the rookie wide receiver 7th round pick, Tommy Millott, who is now on the New Orleans Saints. And that guy has a lot of versatility, former QB, switched to wide receiver. Raiders let him go to make space for Amari Cooper. So I think the optics look better when it's a retirement. And I think that's why Cooper is partially down to let it be a retirement rather than a release. And I wonder, was it also due to the fact that maybe, I got to play devil's advocate, even though I'm a Raiders fan, I got to keep it real. Maybe Amari Cooper wasn't impressed with the Raiders. Maybe he thought, hey, I don't think this offense is going to be for me. I don't think it's going to be a smooth operation this year. I'd rather retire, wait for some injuries to happen, and then hop on a Super Bowl contender in the middle of the year. That could be a possibility. Or maybe he just doesn't have it anymore and he really does look slow and he really was unimpressive in camp, like Sean Reed was saying here. And that just made it easy for him to decide to retire. But this opens up the door for Dante Thornton, because Pete Carroll mentioned in a press conference that Amari Cooper would be competing with the rookie wide receiver out of the 4th round, out of Tennessee, Dante Thornton, for reps. They'd be vying for the same X role at wide receiver. And now you have Dante Thornton having the full control and full starting reps of that role. Because I also wonder, did Amari Cooper get a little upset by seeing Dante Thornton listed as a starting wide receiver here on the official depth chart that got released just 2 days ago, and he had Amari Cooper listed as a backup. See, I don't think him being low on the depth chart is part of the reason why he made this decision to suddenly retire, because the guy must have known he wasn't going to immediately be a starter with less than 10 days of practice, right? These guys have been training all camp. They know all the plays. Yeah, he's a veteran who's been around in the NFL for a long time, but I just can't see that happening, that he's like, oh, I'm a backup right now in week 1. I'm going to totally retire. This isn't for me. So little tricky here to see what's going on. And I think we're going to see how it plays out. If we come out in week 1 and Dante Thornton lights up the scoreboard, gets some good yards, good catches, nobody's going to think about Amari Cooper. But if you have a situation like the Raiders have right now, where you got a bunch of young wide receivers outside of Jacoby Myers and nobody really pops, nobody really gets a ton of catches, nobody really gets production, then people are going to be looking back saying, wow, I wish we had a slow Amari Cooper. Maybe that's better than nothing. But time will tell. I cannot wait for this week 1 game. So make sure you freaking join me here live, reacting to it. And I'll be dropping tons of videos, giving Raiders updates and NFL updates of all teams throughout the NFL season.